Hello guys, welcome to another video. As you can tell from the title, I thought I'd talk a little bit about my experience purchasing a motorcycle long distance and what it's like and whether I'd recommend it, I suppose. Bumpy arsehole road. It's national speed limit though, so I weren't speeding until this bit. Now it's 30. So I'm going 30, it's all good. Oh, by the way as well, I think I've fixed that rattle. There might be a little bit somewhere, I don't know if it is still rattling now. It's got to be coming from the instrument panel cluster part of it. But yeah, so what was it like? All the sheep are asleep. Well, first of all, the company I ordered this bike from, or done a deal with on this bike and in exchange for my bike as well, they're really good. I sort of gave them an offer and they said, well, we'll go think about it, have a word with my boss and I'll get back to you. And I thought, well, that's that. They probably don't want to exchange for a keyway and all that sort of thing, and or they want a better price or something like that. And they came back the next day with an offer, and I said, well, I can only get so much and I'll have to borrow a bit to be able to sort of give you what you need or what you're asking for. And I said, well, I'll see what I can do, and I managed to borrow some money, or at least get someone to say they would lend me it. And I said, oh, I can borrow this much so I can offer you, what was it, something like 1,500 and my bike. And they said, well, again, I'll go and have a word with the boss and I'll get back to you. Whoa, forgot about that. And the next day he rang up and he said, well, I've had a word with the boss, we're happy to put our offer up, which they had already offered me like £900 for my bike, which I thought was a really good offer for trade, because I think I'd only really get about £1,000, 1,100 if I'm lucky, sort of thing, because they lose money fairly quick, and that was almost 2 years kind of since I had the bike. So I knew I was going to lose a bit of money on it, so I was expecting to get about £1,000 for it. So that, and then they came back and said, look, we'll up our offer to £1,000 if you'll go up £100 as well, and we can make the deal. To me, I thought, well, that's a bit silly. They don't really need to offer me this extra £100 on my bike, you know. That made no sense to me in a way, but I was like, fair enough, yeah, that's nice of you and stuff. And I said, but yeah, I'm happy with that deal. I'll go up £100. I should be able to borrow it in it. And I said, I'll just make sure I can get the funds and together, and I'll call you back. And I called them back, made the deal and all that. I wonder what they're actually doing there. Are they widening the road? Let's hope so. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell what they're doing. But then we made the deal. Obviously, I was a bit scared because I hadn't seen the bike. I'd only seen photos of it, but obviously it looked nice in the pictures and all that, but you can't have a proper look around it, you can't run it, you can't. There is a little bit of buzz coming from that somewhere. I think I know where it's coming from, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was, so that's all good. Yeah, so we made the deal a couple of days after I initially inquired about it by email, and then he said he'll call me back on the Monday so we can sort out. So I called, so I thought, after the phone call, I'd only realised after the phone call that Monday is bank holiday, so I probably won't hear from him. So I thought, fair enough, I'm not expecting to hear from him on Monday, so I won't worry about that too much if I don't hear from him. But I did end up getting an email from him and just asking for my details. I think he might have tried calling me while I was out with my dog and I didn't have signal or something, so he didn't get through. And they'd already been on part day anyway, like I said, it was a bank holiday. So I thought I'll phone him back tomorrow, just see what we're going to do, because you know, I didn't know how the process worked. I thought, you'll do the deal, pay the money, I'll send you the bike, you know, deal done sort of thing. And obviously pick my bike up to take back with him as well. I phoned on the Tuesday. He's away, he's on a Kawasaki course, because they are a Kawasaki main dealer as well, and Triumph as well, I think it is. Sherlaw's in Aberdeen, so it's like a nice area where they are, because you can even go in the shop on Google Street View and all that, which is pretty cool. And they update the photos of the interiors and stuff themselves, so the photos of that are really recent ones. I'd cut that then because I couldn't think of the word I was looking for. That's the thing when you're riding and vlogging, you've got to concentrate on the driving as well, and that takes priority sometimes. But yeah, so he weren't there then, so I was like, oh shit, so what am I supposed to do? So I said, well, I'm supposed to be making, you know, finalising the deal of the silver Kawasaki and stuff, and now like didn't have a clue of what the heck was going on. You know, that's what it seemed like. That was a little bit worrying. It's like, you know, why don't they know what the heck's going on? You know, they work there as well. Surely, I know he gets commission if he gets the sale and stuff, but surely if the person who's made a deal with someone already, surely he'll get the commission, but they can still check details and get back to you and, you know, do stuff for him while he's away, and they do the same for them when they're away. Sort of swings and roundabouts, you know, as long as you made the initial deal, you get the commission sort of thing. So it don't take long to just check on the progress and just call someone just to let them know or whatever. And so that was a little bit worrying, because I then called the next day as well, and again he was away on some course or something. But luckily he phoned me the next day and said what had gone on, and I said, yeah, just poor timing and stuff, and he said, yeah, that's it. And then he said, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something or other, and, you know, we'll call you back and we'll be able to sort out the deal and stuff. No, that was it. On the Tuesday I did get through to someone that was actually really helpful. I don't remember his name or anything, but the geezer was really helpful then. He said, well, wait there a sec, I'll go find out what's going on. But he went and had a word with some people, and he said, oh, well, the service team are expecting it early next week. So I was like, oh right. And he said, well, after it's been served and stuff, we'll then be able to sort out finalising payment and getting the delivery booked. I then obviously understood more the way they work. So when you order a bike from a main dealer, even if it's a second-hand bike, they'll deal with it like it's a brand new bike. They'll like do all pre-sale checks and get it serviced if it needs. Obviously a brand new bike wouldn't need servicing, but a pre-owned bike, they'll service it to make sure, like, legally they're covered. Like, yeah, we serviced it, we made sure it was in as good running condition as it could be and all that before we let it go, just in case something happens, and then they're not liable for any accidents or anything. So I was like, oh right, so I understand. What they have to do is book it in for the service, but they can't just say, service team, service this bike, get it done so we can get it out. You know, they got paying customers having their bike serviced, don't nod in, having their bike serviced, worked on for whatever reason and stuff, so it has to go to the back of the queue, so you have to wait for that. So I had to wait almost a week for that to get into the service department and all that sort of thing. But overall, that side of things was not too bad. That was nerve-wracking, because, you know, I weren't sure, and so it was constantly making me think, you know, I was like, well, I'm 100% sure they're legit and everything, but every now and then that date would come in my mind. It's like, well, what if they do take the money, then I can't get in contact with them, I don't hear from them again, this, that, the other. But they were good with that side of it as well. They didn't take the money until the bike was ready, you know. I'd put a deposit down, so they took it all down for sale and stuff, and that was only 200 quid, which I thought was fair. And then they said, right, what was it? It was the Wednesday, like, this is almost 2 weeks after we initially made the deal, and they called me up and said, right, we've got delivery booked for Friday, so as long as you send the money by then, the bike will be on its way. So I said, okay then. I said, I'll send the money now, so it's all done and there should be no problems. And I thought, well, if it's being sent Friday, hopefully I'll get it Friday night if they pick up early enough, you know. Depends how they do it. But I thought, when it didn't turn up, I thought, you know, it's no bother, I'll probably get it tomorrow. Saturday came around and it didn't turn up. got a little bit worried. I can't even remember exactly what day it turned up now, but after that didn't turn up the Monday either, I was getting really worried because I hadn't heard from him or anything either. I think I did email him saying, you know, do you have any clue when it's going to turn up, because I haven't heard anything yet from the driver and stuff, and he said no, I'm not too sure, but it is on its way. And that's pretty much all he said in the email. And then a couple of days later I was like emailing him, guys, I still ain't heard anything and stuff. And he said, sorry, there's been a little bit of a delay with the driver because he wanted to pick up more bikes along the way, and it should turn up this evening. And I did get a phone call, the delivery driver that is, and he said later on today I'll be coming up through Ipswich and I'll be at yours between 6 and 9 o'clock this evening. That's like, the bike came from Sherlaws, and Sherlaws is based in Aberdeen in Scotland. Ipswich is safe from me. That's like, so if it's come from Scotland, which is all the way up north, why is it coming up from the safe? You know, that was a bit confusing, but the geezer sort of gave it away when I asked him a bit about it. I said, so this bike's been all over the place then, isn't it? While he was unloading and stuff. He said, no, I put it in my warehouse for a day while I went off picking other bikes up. And he said to me also that he had picked it up on the Saturday, not the Friday that he was supposed to. So it's picked up a day later than I knew, but Sherlaws didn't let me know that. They didn't call me or email and say, sorry, but the delivery driver was late and he's just picked it up today on the Saturday, but they didn't do anything like that. So I say, you know, so I'd say, you know, it's fine buying long distance, but you've got to realise that it's going to take time before it leaves and stuff, because they want to put it through the service department and everything, and that has to go in the queue just with any customer bikes. Okay, quickly go up there, just waste some time for a bit so I can finish this video. I've been up there for a long time. I used to live up this way and nearby, but that's the only problem I think buying long distance. You can't see the bike properly, so that'd probably be best to do something that I didn't think to do, and that's say, can you take some photographs from all different angles, close up in every like gap and stuff. This place didn't change much. Yeah, so I'll do that, and also just make sure that the company's legit. Check their website, so make sure they're calling you on numbers that are on the website and that the website's secure and everything. Blimey, they've rebuilt the school. Fucking hell, that's totally different. Wow. Totally different to when I used to go there. The entrance used to be up there. It's much bigger than it used to be. But yeah, so I'd ask all that sort of thing, you know. That would be nice for the company to actually be more active, to at least call you at least once a day. It's only going to take a couple of minutes to call you, so letting you know what's going on exactly with it, or at least every couple of days, just to reassure you, know, that, you know, everything's on track, this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. Because I felt like at times I didn't have a clue, because at first they didn't even tell me that that's going through the service department and stuff. You know, the geezer I was dealing with didn't tell me. It was someone else that told me on another day I called. Yeah, I think it's worth it, as long as you like make sure the bike's in the condition you want to be in. You know, if you can't see everything on the bike, say, can you send me some photos of this part, that part? That's something I didn't think to do. I got pretty lucky because overall, for its age, you know, it's a 10-year-old bike, for overall that is in pretty good nick. It's done quite low mileage. As far as I can tell, the engine's in good order. But the main thing is as well checking out the company, as I say, you know, check they've got a proper secure website and stuff, make sure they're calling you on numbers that are on the site. Check they've got a VAT number, see if you can find a way of checking them out if you're still unsure. Everything seemed to work out for me, so I didn't have to like check out VAT numbers and find out if I can check their registered company and all that. Plus I'd been going for since 1928, so that reassures you as well that you should be able to trust them. You know, another thing which I sort of neglect to do, because I'm just thinking about getting the deal, getting the bike and all that, you know, make sure you ask more questions about the bike, you know, ask whatever you can think of, maybe write a load down before you phone them and stuff, and then make your first inquiry, either phone them up or email them. And also do something I did do, if you don't know the number plate because it's not in the photos or you don't get sent it, after inquiring on Auto Trader you get an email and the number plate is actually in that, so I was lucky I didn't have to ask them for that. But if you don't get anything like that, ask them what the number plate is, just say, so you can check it out on the government site and that, because you can check out that the mileage is right by checking the old MOTs and stuff, and that'll tell you the history of a certain amount of the old MOTs. Like the only thing this has ever failed on all the MOTs that go back, most of it's like, was a rear tyre, and that was quite funny because the year before that was an advisory, and obviously the bloke who owned it at the time time wanted to try and get it through one more year, but it failed on it, so we obviously had to get a new tyre on it and put it through again. So I say it's worth it as long as you do all your checks, ask them everything you can about the bike. If you need to, say, can you do some photos from this angle, from under here, from this angle, you know, and send them to me by email or whatever. But the main thing is make sure the company's legit. Check them out on Google Maps, make sure their shop look decent and stuff, and I'd say make sure they're a main dealer, not just a second-hand bike place, unless you can actually get there and look at the bike and then still do all your checks on the bike and stuff like that. So that's what I'd say, you know, as long as you feel like the bike's as it is and they're a trustworthy company and all seems to work out, go for it, as long as you're patient as well. You know, you've got to realise that it's going to take a while to get prepared, get picked up and get to you, especially if that's a really long distance like it was for me, 500 miles away it was. That's like I got an email from just 2 days ago, and I've had this bike like a week and a half or so now. I'm not 100% sure how long I've had it now, but yeah, I got an email off them like 2 days ago, I think it was, and they said we've finally received your keyway. So it was good to hear from them about that, so I knew about that. I don't know how these cameras work, man, because there's no lines in the road where this one is. Anyway, I hope that made some kind of sense. So I was just talking about it off the top of my head, as I always do, you know. Just thought I'd talk a little bit about it, just in case some of you in the future might end up be looking for a bike and find one that looks about right for what you're looking for, and the only problem is it's too far away for you to go and look at it or go and get it. Yeah, like I said, I hope it's made a little bit of sense, and that will give you some sort of peace of mind if you ever do want to buy long distance. Alright, before I go and see this bike, I'll end this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And my man compadre, black and white, white and ivory, and black ebony. They can't step to me, weaponry is heavenly. They can't see us in the 313 vicinity. Hey yo, M, ha 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 ha. Ha ha, I come in like ha ha, I'm ill like nah nah. And y'all don't wanna see me cause I'm ill with the skill.